Hello, brave, beautiful, beloved soul friends. Before we dive into this journey here in this video, I want to invite you to go grab a mirror or to go sit yourself near a mirror. And instead of watching me on a screen, spend time with yourself in a mirror while listening to this video. Okay? Not necessary, but I really highly encourage it. So I'm going to give you a second here to go either grab a mirror or shift where you're sitting so that you are near a mirror, maybe in a bedroom or a bathroom or a hallway or something, or even just looking at your reflection in something that's not a mirror, like a vehicle or something. Just take a moment to look at yourself instead of me while engaging in this content creation. And I'm actually going to be doing the same. I'm going to be talking to and with myself in a mirror here instead of directly facing the camera. And this is important because we are actually going to be talking about social self-engagement and how engaging in everyday experiences in relation with attachment well-being is affecting the navigation and regulation of the unconscious body-mind. Long story short, we'll dive into it and talk about this, breaking down these concepts into an everyday way that can be practiced and applied through expanded awareness and personal power reclamation. So just take a minute, go grab a mirror or position yourself where you're sitting or standing next to something where you can look at yourself instead of looking at me in the video while you listen to me in the video. When we come into this world, the unconscious body-mind has not yet developed. There's a blueprint for it, but the details about its neural wiring have not been created yet. And through a process of social engagement, the unconscious body-mind develops into existence. Experiences in relation with attachment well-being create neural content linked through various styles of neuroconnectivity that provide navigation and regulation beyond awareness. In everyday life, the key component of the human experience is social engagement. If you look at nearly any activity anywhere, everywhere, there's some kind of occurrence of social engagement. For example, if you're at a park, there's families engaging with their children or couples engaging with one another. They're talking, they're hanging out, they're spending time, they're playing together. They might be spending time next to each other without saying anything, but that's still an act of social engagement because you're not there by yourself. You're there with a person, and that is the focus of the experience. The focus of who you are with is actually more important to the awareness of consciousness and the activity of the unconscious body-mind than the location of where you are. Most of the time. Not always. Most of the time. Who you are with holds greater significance in the experience than where you are. If you're with someone you don't like in the most amazing place in the world, you're not going to have the best time, even though you're at the most amazing place of the world, because you're with someone you don't really like. Similarly, if you're with someone you love in kind of a meh place, you could have an incredible time because you're with someone you love. So who you are with actually has more significance than where you are, what you're doing. The entire unconscious body-mind, these hundreds of trillions of neural networks flowing through the brain and the body, have developed through a process of social engagement. And activities of social engagement in everyday life continue to affect the way that it exists and operates and continues to expand. Practices, conscious or unconscious, automatic or intentional, but experiences of any kind of social engagement in everyday life are rewiring the existing neural data and stimulating the generation of new neural intel, which is constantly shifting the way that the unconscious body mind has its information and the organization of that information. Okay, so let's just take a deep breath and kind of just let everything that was said just kind of swirl and swoon in our processes, okay? Just take a deep breath. In this moment, assuming that you are hanging out in a mirror as recommended, and if not, then just play with it, but assuming that you're playing along with me, in this moment, you are looking at yourself in a mirror, and in this moment, you are having an experience of social self-engagement with yourself and social engagement with me, even though I'm not like here talking to you directly. Hi, I'm totally talking to you directly. What do you mean? But even though, we're not like in person having this like one-on-one conversation, we're having an experience of social engagement. And that's what social media is. Social media is literally a platform for the world to practice social engagement. That's the whole purpose of it. Like, yes, it can be used for, promoting a good cause or sharing important information or, there's other purposes to it. But within all of those purposes, the foundation of every social media platform that has ever existed, does exist, or will ever exist is the activity of social engagement. That's the whole existence of social media. As people socially engaging without being in person. And that's quite a miracle. And it can definitely be used for some positive purposes, which is always what my intention is. But it can also be used for not so positive purposes. And so it's just about how we're showing up, okay? But more on that later. Okay, so right now we're here in a mirror. We're here in a mirror. And you are having an experience of social engagement with yourself. Now, my question to float and to allow this to stir in you in every moment of every day for the rest of your life if you want to, but, low-key, maybe every day for the next week. You can use this as just a mindfulness practice. When you are having an experience of social engagement, okay? Any type of experience of social engagement, okay? Any type of social engagement experience. You're walking past people at a park, even if you don't talk to them, you're walking past them. There's energy in the vicinity. And even that is like an indirect experience of social engagement because the unconscious body mind is alert and aware that there are people around and is providing navigation accordingly. Because the entire foundation of the unconscious body mind is, drumroll, the neurobiological social engagement system. And that's a concept that branches off the polyvagal theory. So the whole organization of the unconscious body mind is all about social engagement. So the awareness practice, and then we'll go into this other stuff that all ties into it. Bring awareness when you are engaging in any type of social engagement experience, including social media. If you're interacting with a loved one or a partner or a friend or a coworker or a neighbor or a doctor or your mailman or literally anything, or if you're on social media, you're scrolling through YouTube, you're scrolling through Instagram, you're watching someone's video, you're commenting, any type of social engagement experience. The question is, are you the experiential self focused on the external experience of engaging with other people, whether that's in person or online? Or are you the awareness of yourself who is more focused on the well-being of internal attachment needs of your inner experiencer. Okay, why is that important? I'm going to repeat that little question one more time, and then we're going to explore, why is this important? Why does this matter? Why does this have so much power? Okay, in any moment of social engagement, in any moment of every day, any type of social engagement experience. Again, this could be in person with someone you know or someone you don't know, or it could be online, like flowing through social media. In any moment of any type of social engagement experience, are you more focused on the external experience from the position of being the experiencer of yourself? Or is there some space where you are the awareness of yourself who's focused on assisting the fulfillment of attachment needs of your inner experiencer? In one, there's the experiencer focused on experience, and in one, there's awareness focused on inner experiencer instead of outer experience. Okay, why is this so important? The unconscious body-mind comes into existence through a process of social engagement, beginning with attachment development in relation with the parents or caregiver of that infant, toddler, and young child. And then it expands to extended family and neighbors and schoolmates and whatnot, and so on and so forth. But the process of social engagement throughout the early years of life creates the foundation of the unconscious body-mind. And then that foundation continues to shapeshift in relation with social engagement and attachment well-being throughout life. How we think, feel, and move, including decision-making, big and small, all comes from unconscious memory data being activated beyond awareness. And all of that exists and is organized in relation with the well-being of internal attachments. And you can explore internal attachments through 4 distinct systems that each carry specific internal needs. And you can find out more about these concepts in some of my other creations, including thesis number 1 of my Implicit Revelations case study and various diagrams I've created, some which can be explored through free gifts on my website at kristinwindsor.com/gifts. You can find out more about these links and free offerings in the video description below. So the unconscious body-mind exists based on social engagement and experience in relation with attachment well-being. There's these 4 attachment systems that each carry specific internal needs, and hundreds of trillions of neural networks are carrying pieces of memory data in relation. Guys, I just love this stuff. I just gotta say, talking about this stuff is like the greatest fire for my soul. Just had to pause and share that because I'm exploding with joy on the inside. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm exploding. They probably can't tell. Kristen, they probably can't tell I'm actually exploding with joy. Because when I'm truly exploding with joy, I'm laughing until I cry, but I can't really talk coherently when I'm laughing till I cry. So, but no, for real, this stuff is so amazing. And the most extraordinary part about all of this is that it literally affects every human being on the planet. Like, there are some topics of conversation that, like, you know, some people just they don't care about, or truly doesn't actually affect their life. But this topic right here, it literally affects every human being on the planet, whether they know it or not. It's extraordinary. It's absolutely, I love this stuff. Oh, okay. Sorry, let's get back to it. Moment of explosion. So there's these 4 attachment systems, each with specific needs, and in accordance with how those attachment needs have been fulfilled and are now being fulfilled, hundreds of trillions of neural networks carry pieces of memory data that are providing navigation and regulation in every now moment. And every now moment of attachment well-being is affecting how those hundreds of trillions of neural networks are being rewired existing data is being transformed and rewritten and reorganized, and how new data is being gathered and filed. When attachment needs are not, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Yes, I love you. Okay, when attachment needs are not fulfilled, or their fulfillment depends on external experiences, then the unconscious body-mind is not thriving to its optimal capacity. Okay, I'm going to repeat that because this is huge. It's huge in understanding the human experience. When attachment needs are not fulfilled, or they are fulfilled but dependent on external sources and experiences, then the unconscious body-mind is not thriving to its maximum potential and optimal capacity. If attachment needs are not met, or they're dependent on stuff outside, other external experiences or other people, then the navigation is coming from this neural wiring that has disintegrated information and low vibrational action patterns and instigations of sensations. Because how we think, how we feel, how we move, how we make choices, how we engage with ourselves and others completely depends on the wiring, the content and connectivity, the information and the organization of that information stored in implicit emotional and procedural memories, unconscious memories at the foundation of the unconscious body-mind. Because most of our memories are unconscious. Most of our memories are not conscious things we can think about and be like, oh, I remember that time. That's a sliver. That's a sliver of the memory stored inside of us. Most of our memories are unconscious and carry sensations and movement patterns, feelings and action patterns, emotions and procedures. Okay? And so when attachment needs are not fulfilled, or they're fulfilled based on external experiences, then the unconscious body-mind is going to think and feel and move in relation with surviving or conditionally thriving based on how it's able to get attachment need fulfillment from external sources. Okay? So if attachment needs are not met at all or not completely, then the unconscious body-mind is like, okay, I'm here to survive. So all the thoughts, all the feelings, and all of the action patterns I'm creating to help provide navigation are all about survival. And if attachment needs are partially or fully met, but dependent on external sources like external experiences or other people, such as a romantic partner, a family member, a best friend, a coworker, etc., then the unconscious body-mind is going to say, okay, hey, I'm creating thoughts, feelings, and movement patterns that are going to help you feel all the good stuff, but only if this happens. Only if you get over here. Only if you do this. Only if you do that. So then, all of the human behaviors and experiences are coming from that place of survival or acquiring attachment need fulfillment from other people and other experiences. And that is what creates the cornerstone of so much of the human experience as we know it, or as it has been known. We are growing and healing and evolving into higher states of consciousness and greater levels of awareness and expansion. But thus far, and as you look around at a lot of how the world is operating, it comes from a place of socially engaging externally from a space of unfulfilled internal needs. And that's why so much of the stuff that we see in the world exists. It's because unconscious memories providing navigation in relation with attachment well-being, but the attachment needs aren't being fully met. And so then you get implicit health challenges and bullying and all kinds of stuff because the unconscious body-mind of individuals is surviving the lack of attachment need fulfillment, or it's trying to thrive by acquiring attachment need fulfillment from these other sources. Okay? Okay, so let's bring this back to a personal level. When approaching any experience of social engagement, we can expand our awareness and personal power reclamation and embodiment by asking, if all of my attachment needs were already met inside of me by me, would I still be engaging in this situation with this activity or with this other person? And if so, then how would I be engaging? And if everybody brought this question to their mind in every moment of every day, our entire world would start to change overnight. If everyone in the world brought this question to their awareness in every moment of every day and started cultivating personal power and loving liberation from that space of awareness, the entire planet would be changing in dramatic ways right now. If attachment needs inside of me, this is the question to ask yourself. Not me, don't ask me this question. I'm asking me this question. You ask you this question. If all of my internal attachment needs were fully met by me right now, would I still be engaging with this other person or with this external experience? And if so, then how would I be engaging? So much of the human experience is individuals fulfilling each other's attachment needs, and then there's all kinds of issues because, oh, these needs aren't being met by you and these needs aren't being met by you, and there's, there can be codependency or, random frustrations and all kinds of stuff because the unconscious body-mind is like, okay, well, I'm here to get my attachment needs met. Why isn't this person seeing me? Why isn't this person seeing me? Why isn't this person loving me unconditionally? Why isn't this person helping me feel safe? Why isn't this person supporting me in everything I'm trying to do? Why doesn't this person respect me all the way? Why isn't this person or this experience or situation or activity providing all the space I need for me to be me and thrive? Why can't I feel a sense of closeness, and why can't I be comfortable being vulnerable in this experience or with this person? And as the unconscious body-mind subconsciously asks these questions, these aren't necessarily thoughts, they might be, but they're not necessarily conscious thoughts. It's happening subconsciously through subsations and subceptions. Other terms shared in my Liberated Consciousness course. It's subconscious sensations and subconscious perceptions. Things that are happening to precede conscious thought, but still affecting our parts of consciousness beyond awareness. Okay, so when there's social engagement, so much of the time, the unconscious body-mind doesn't have its attachment needs met. And in that engagement of being social with this other person, talk, hang out side by side, hug, whatever you're doing, any type of social engagement, the unconscious body-mind is secretly hoping that experience or that other person is going to fulfill their attachment needs. And when it doesn't happen, then the unconscious body-mind is storing information without total connectivity or without optimal content to provide navigation and regulation in the future. Okay? So bringing awareness to this on a personal level, when you go to hang out with your friend, when you go to pick up a phone to call your friend, when you go to ask somebody a question, when you go to share something with someone that you know, when you go to scroll through social media, Is it from a place where you already feel seen and loved and supported and respected by you? Because if not, then the unconscious body-mind is secretly hoping to acquire those feelings from that external experience. And as long as the unconscious body-mind is dependent on external experiences or other people for the fulfillment of internal attachment needs, there will be aspects of the self that are not fully united with the entirety of the self, and there will be aspects of the unconscious body-mind that are not thriving to its optimal capacity to provide the most effective navigation and regulation possible to truly and fully thrive from a place of wholeness and well-being. And so it's very, very subtle. It's very, very subtle, and it takes a lot of awareness to tune into these hidden subconscious realities, but nothing is more worthwhile, okay? So when you go to pick up a phone and call your friend and chit-chat or schedule a time to hang out, is it because that other person helps you feel seen and loved and supported and respected when you don't feel those feelings without them? Okay? It's good to have loved ones who love and respect and support and see you and help you feel safe. That's a good thing. But not if those needs are primarily being met by them and not yourself. Okay? If you didn't have that person or that interaction, would you still feel seen and loved and safe and respected and supported? That's the question. Okay? When you go to scroll through social media, and this has been something I've been working on myself to bring a lot of awareness to. It's been quite a journey. Social media is something that has been stored in my neural wiring for decades. Social media is something that was assisting attachment need fulfillment from a very early age, about 14 years old. And so there's decades of neural wiring in this brain-body system about receiving attachment need fulfillment through social media, which is why I've really cut back and why I don't always respond to every single comment like I used to. I used to be very dedicated to responding to every single YouTube comment and every single thing on every platform because I really wanted to show you guys how much I appreciate you being here and engaging with my content. And I still do really appreciate you guys being here and engaging with my content. But what's even more important is the wiring of my unconscious body-mind, the liberation of my consciousness, and the well-being of my internal attachment needs independent of other experiences. So that's something that I've been kind of playing with a long time and having to create some personal boundaries with so I can make sure that I am being there for me, you know, and that can be hard to do. But that's why I don't respond to every single YouTube comment, even though I'm always sending you guys all of my love. And I am so thankful that you are here. And I'm so thankful for support with my creations and my work. And I'm grateful for everyone who takes time to like and share a positive comment or engage and watch my content all the way through. It really means a lot. But when we engage with social media, when you go to click that YouTube app, when you go to click that Facebook browser, when you go to scroll through your news feed, when you go to watch someone else's video, is it because you're receiving something from that experience and that other person that you are not receiving from yourself? That's the question here. That's the question. So think about that for a moment. When you go to scroll through social media, when you go to have any kind of social engagement experience, is it because you're receiving something from that person or that activity or that experience that you are not receiving from yourself? Are you more attached to experience than your own experiencer? Are you only feeling seen and loved and supported and respected and embraced and cherished and a sense of vulnerable closeness when you're talking with your best friend or a family member or a romantic partner, or scrolling through social media on people's news feed that, has some cool content or whatever? Or when you are all by yourself, completely alone, with no one around and no stimulation and no activity and no experience, really, just kind of being, do you feel fully seen and loved and supported and respected and embraced because you are feeling that towards you? You are giving that gift to yourself. Okay? So to bring this all around, the unconscious body-mind exists based on social engagement and experiences in relation with attachment well-being, and that is affecting the navigation and regulation in every moment now, every moment that has ever been, and every moment that will ever be in the human experience. So it's kind of a big deal. And it affects every human everywhere, whether we or they know it or not. In everyday life, we are constantly in some form of social engagement. And it might not be obvious. It might not be obvious at all. When you go to watch TV, it's another actually really good example that I've had a lot of growing and learning experiences through over the years. When you go to watch TV, do you go to watch that show or that movie because you're getting something from it that you're not getting from yourself? For example, maybe you binge watch romantic comedies because you feel some of the feelings that the characters feel that you can't actually feel on your own. As one of infinite potential examples, okay? When you go into any type of social engagement, when you go, especially initiating, sometimes if someone comes up to you and asks you something, you're in social engagement, but what's even more important is the social engagement experiences that we initiate, because that's coming directly from the action patterns of the procedural memories at the foundation of the unconscious body-mind that actually affect 80% or more of decision making. So when you engage in any type of social engagement, especially when you are initiating it, such as picking up a phone to call a friend, are you coming from a place of being the experiencer of yourself who's Hi. I got lost with me for a second, sorry. Are you coming from a place of being the experiencer focused on external experience, where you are surviving the lack of attachment need fulfillment, or you are acquiring some form or feeling of attachment need fulfillment from an external person or experience or activity? Or are you coming from a place where you are the awareness of yourself who is attached to the experiencer of yourself, and all of your attachment needs are fully met by you before engaging with any other person or any other activity? Because as long as the unconscious body-mind, again, to reiterate this little point here, as long as the unconscious body-mind is dependent on external experiences and other people for the fulfillment of internal attachment needs, it will not be able to thrive to its optimal capacity and well-being, which affects navigation, thoughts, feelings, action patterns, movements, sensations, emotions, perceptions, and regulation. Brain hemispheric connectivity, prefrontal cortex engagement, heart rate variability, regulation and connectivity throughout the nervous systems, digestion, respiration, all of that stuff. Okay? And so it's great to have loved ones who can help you feel seen and loved and safe and supported and respected. That's a good thing, always. Hold on to them. But when you have moments of socially engaging with them, Are your attachment needs being met by these other people more than by yourself? And if you didn't have these other people or these experiences or activities to engage with, could you still feel seen and loved? Could you still feel safe and supported? Could you still feel fully respected? Because you are giving that to you. Okay. That's a flurry and a scurry. And along with that, I encourage you to bring awareness to social media usage, because it can be very easy to just pick something up and scroll through it and, you know, find entertainment or information from these external sources, or find connection, a sense of connection. And social media is a brilliant and beautiful tool, but a lot of times it can become an unconscious habit where the unconscious body mind says, okay, it's time to pick up that piece of technology and scroll through social media because this is your time to feel connected. That's actually potentially a clue that you are not connected with all of you. Imagine that there are parts of you who want to feel connected, so they try to connect with other people through social media, but those other parts of you are actually just looking to be connected with you, not with other people, not with the outside world. They want you to be connected with you. But it's hard to tell that because approximately 99.08% of realities exist and operate beyond conscious awareness and immediate perception. You can explore more about many of these ideas, including that one, through my Implicit Revelations case study and known documentary series, freely available on my video channel and on my website. You can find out more in the video description below. But I encourage you to just create space to expand awareness of how you are engaging with other people and with yourself in everyday experiences. And to start to cultivate self-attunement by practicing being the awareness of yourself who is providing attachment need fulfillment for the experiencer of yourself. And that can happen by focusing on how the body mind is feeling and moving in each moment. Are you feeling lonely? So you move to pick up a phone to call a friend? Or are you feeling content and moving towards deeper loving presence and enjoyment with the moment with yourself? This is one of infinite examples. And if these topics interest you, I invite you to explore more of my free content creations. I have years of content library, video libraries here, and a lot of free gifts on my website that are directly associated with attachment well-being and growing internal attachments and liberating internal attachments and all of those related topics. So you can explore more about that. All the links for all of those magics are in the video description below, so do be sure to check that out. And yeah, I could talk about this for a long time. I could talk about this for a long time, but I don't want to make this video too long. I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day. I invite you and encourage you to bring greater awareness to your everyday experiences of social engagement and to strive to allow these engagements to come from a place where you are being connected with you, and that is more important than the other stuff, and to just see how that starts to shift life. A lot of times, if we are meeting our own attachment needs, we won't need to pick up that phone to call that person. We won't need to go scroll through social media for 2 hours. We won't need to, because we're busy giving ourselves the love that we deserve and have always been seeking and wishing for. And if you want to dive even deeper into some of these journeys, a lot of my services and creations through KRISTIN'S Consciousness Consultancy have a lot of powerful magic, especially the Mirrorthon journeys. So there's lots of magic there you can always check out as well if you feel called to dive deeper into this aspect of the healing journey. And yeah, okay, I think that's all. just a little side note on this topic. Part of the miracle of this was that when Kristin used to create content, it was wishing to be connected with other people. And then it shifted to all of her content creations involved her talking into a mirror. And that was through the Known documentary series where she was interviewing herself. And that led to the discovery of thesis number 29. When consciousness teaches the brain and body to socially engage with itself, the process of nurturing internal attachment needs completely rewires the unconscious body-mind. It literally reshapes and reorganizes neural data gathered through every moment of life from all of the years without directly working with any memory data. And that's how hundreds of disabling health challenges were healed. And that's how I was able to recover memories from my entire life and be more connected with all of me. And it's just a giant, beautiful miracle, which is why I'm very passionate about this stuff. So thank you again for being here. Thank you for being you. Go check out more of my magical content and play with this concept of expanding awareness regarding how you approach experiences of social engagement and whether your unconscious body-mind is acquiring attachment and fulfillment from these other people and other experiences more than from your own self. Have a beautiful and blessed day. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Thank you for all the support on my channel. Even though I don't respond to every comment, I love you and I'm so grateful you're here, and I'm really appreciative for your interaction with my work, and I hope you have a beautiful and blessed day. And yeah. And for those who feel called to connect with me personally through my passion, purpose, soul bliss, we'll practice social engagement and social self-engagement through our calls and stuff. It's always so fun. All right. Okay. That's all. I love you guys. Bye.